Alright, welcome back. Wanted to make an update video for the Paladin guide I made a couple months ago for the Dragondin. So there was a bunch of nerfs and changes made, and I wanted to see if it was still viable, and finally I got plug Y working, so let's just look at it really quick here. So the main things that got nerfed were the two rune words themselves had the level of holy fire reduced. I don't know how much it was reduced by. I think 2 or 3 levels. So basically now it adds up to level 40. So that's kind of a big nerf. So that's number one. Number two in the nerf department is resist fire. Used to give pretty much double the fire damage bonus. So you can see right now with all this gear on, I have 43%. I think it was around 98 or 100 in my last video. So that's a huge difference as well. And what it basically means is that every skill point now you get it turns into 1% fire damage. So that makes a lot of these items not really as good as they used to be. Most notably is the Andes. So the Andes used to be like all around the best item if you got 3 sockets with 3 perfect fire faucets. But honestly, that's only 2% more damage than using something like this, like any 3 socket helm. Obviously, the attack speed and the other stuff on this is still great, but it really doesn't. I wouldn't be buying this anymore, and I imagine they're going to be a lot cheaper than they used to. What you can do instead is get this helm, Crown of Ages, probably. I still haven't figured out how I would change this. I was looking at Kira's. I thought initially that was bonus damage, but it's not. It's just resistance, which I already explained in the last video. It doesn't really matter. Um, so yeah, other stuff too, like Arax. This is 1% fire damage, so it's really and the Saj, like this stuff is, it's not gonna give you that much more damage. So I think it was around 40k we did last time around. Now we're at 17k. Yeah, with resist fire on. And you'll see when I'll switch this out to the Andes, which again doesn't have any sockets in it because I'm not going to bother slamming shit. But your biggest increase in damage now is going to be from fire faucets instead of all skills, because they're just, each fire faucet reads 5 to all skills for us. So it's kind of sad the way this works is that the only place we can put any faucets is in the helm, and that's 3, so you're limited to 3. Um, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. They didn't really add anything new for gloves. There's still pretty shitty gloves. I would use chance guards. I didn't slam stuff, so I just have the Raven Frost on, but you would switch that out for 1 to all skills. And even though like 1 to all skills is only 1% damage, it's still the only real increase in damage in these like slots, which is kind of sad. There's no fire damage belt. They have they reworked Titans or T gods or whatever to be lightning. Same with the cold belt got improved this season. So that's not that good anymore. This is still the best Ami because there isn't any fire damage Amis. There's a cold one, not a fire one. So yeah, pretty much all the same gear. The only thing is you really don't need the Andes anymore. It's still probably the best, but I think Crown of Ages is better because they also nerfed the amount of all resist you can get on Pally shields. So 30 is the max now. It used to be 45. So you can see with I got like all resist charms here. I'm only at like 60. So yeah, it's a big deal as well. You're gonna lose a lot of survivability because of that. That was an extra 15 all resist, and pretty much that's the only place you can get it. These are only 1% damage increase each. So again, this used to be 2 each. So yeah, that's like the overview of what got changed. So basically, the damage is halved. Your survivability is down, and yeah, that's about it. So I made a tier 1 map just to try it out, just to see how it is, and you know, it's still really good. Like I'm still one-shotting most shit. I don't have a filter on here because I just installed plug Y and it removed my filter and I haven't been online yet. But you can see that, like, you know, it's pretty much the same way it used to be, at least in tier 1. Now I don't know about the higher tier stuff. I haven't gone that far to test it out. I just wanted to see like if it even still works. So thankfully it does work. And the idea was like, yeah, this is a super fast clearing build. It was like really fun to play because you just kind of mow through stuff like it's butter. It still does that. So I would still say that like it's still a top tier build for Paladin. Um, as for the, they've added like a tier 4 map now, and they keep pushing things to be harder. So I'm not sure how it would go in in those upper maps. I'll get to test it out, but it still works. So I mean, maybe the nerfs were kind of justified because it didn't really matter. But I mean, if it didn't really matter and you're still one-shotting stuff, then what's the point? I guess in group content it was a little too overpowered, but whatever. So yeah, if you want to do Dragondin Season 2, Project Diablo 2, it still works, still great. It still has the pitfalls it used to have, which was like, if you're not killing everything instantly, you do kind of get smacked around. As you can see, right now I'm kind of getting lit up by these mobs because I'm not dying instantly. But it's still like miles ahead of Holy Bolt. And on the ladder, I've been playing Holy Bolt and Fist of the Heavens because I don't have any. I'm still trying to get runes. It's been a slow season for me, but it's like still miles ahead of that in terms of clear speed and how annoying it is. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to do an update because a lot of people watch that video and they might be making the build and they find out that like, oh, the damage is like way lower without reading the patch notes. So that's that. I am going to be looking into some other stuff now because they made some changes to the physical damage build. So potentially there might be some way to play like physical charge and not have to use either Dream or Dragon to do anything. So I'm going to look into that. And now it might actually, because all these items that used to be like one-to-all skills, they're pretty useless in terms of like physical damage. But now that they don't actually do much, I'm gonna look into maybe doing a hybrid build where you're doing more physical damage and you actually have some lifesteal going on. Because before, the issue with that was that the trade-off was just massively skewed in favor of just stacking as much all skills as you can. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I've been in here for maybe 3 minutes and basically done the map. Even without max res, it's still fine. And of course, you can always throw on salve. You only lose 4k damage compared to before. Used to lose like 10 or 12. So actually now I would probably just say, because it's so hard to get resistances, just run salve and don't run like resist fire, because it's 3k damage is like not going to be a massive difference. You're still gonna need the 2-shot stuff or 1-shot stuff. It's not like it's the difference between always one-shotting, so like it was before. But yeah, that's the build. Still works. Probably upload some more videos in the future. Thanks. See you.